Good evening and welcome to the Daily Report this wonderful Tuesday. My name is Victor Moyakane.
And mine is Linda Alela. And the People's Court and the Daily Report get to begin right now.
Absolutely.
You want to ask yourself why the Daily Report, then the People's Court. If you're joining us for the very first time, this is the People's Court largely because it is always about, a session where we involve stakeholders in different sectors. And when I say stakeholders, it means even you, the people, so that then you can weigh in on the matter. And today, Victor Moyakane, what do we look at?
Today, we're looking at a subject that is very close to people's hearts. We're talking about our health, and specifically the Social Health Authority, or SHA, and SHIF. Last year, this was one of the biggest changes in the healthcare landscape, something that was rolled out to great acclaim, but also to great complaint. A lot of Kenyans have murmured against this project. Why? For a variety of reasons. Tonight, we want to find out exactly how many of you have actually signed up to this. What has been your experience so far? Those of you that have signed up, have you found the benefit in SHA? If not, why? Talk to us about that. SHA is on the People's Court. SHA is on the accused, the place of the accused.
Right.
SHA is standing accused tonight. We want to find out exactly what your experience was with SHA. And tonight, we've got a few people to help us decipher this, understand this a little better.
You know what surprises me is that we have had this conversation about Chief SHA before.
Yes, we have.
And the voices that we had were negative, apart from representatives of the government. But just guess what?
Right.
There's this one gentleman who is a proponent.
He's a proponent.
I am telling you, he has traveled all the way. At some point in time, I saw him say, this one should be preached even in church. And I thought it's a joke. I thought it was like, the way you just want to...
But he's here with the gospel of SHA.
Yes.
The gentlemen
How
are
are you,
here.
sir?
Fine.
Good evening.
Good evening to you, Linda and Victor.
Yes, sir. You say the gospel of SHA should be preached even in...
Yes, all over the country.
All right, and we shall come back to that and find out exactly why. Mr. Kahindi, how are you?
Fine,
in a
thank you.
word, your opinion on SHA, in a word.
I fully oppose it.
All right. That's just a glimpse of what we have in store
know?
for you. We have a prophet of SHA, and we have an opponent
Want to
of
call
SHA.
him that, yeah?
Ladies and gentlemen, we have so much in store for you, but first...
The highlights.
The highlights.
Right.
Tonight, the National Intelligence Service and its director, Noordin Haji, are under scrutiny over the rising abduction crisis in the country as the Public Service CS Justin Muturi drops a bombshell. 3 cabinet nominees allied to former President Uhuru Kenyatta vetted today for cabinet positions. 3 appeared before the National Assembly Committee on Appointments following their nomination by President Ruto. And the Confederation of African Football has postponed the African Nations Championship, which was set to begin on February 1st, 2025. In a statement, CAF explained that the postponement is to give host countries more time to adequately prepare for the tournament. All right, we begin our news now.
Not forgetting the sign language.
Of course, our sign language interpreter tonight is none other than Rhoda Nyamai. And our coverage begins now.
Right.
The National Intelligence Service, NIS, and its Director General, Noordin Haji, are facing scrutiny over a surge in abductions across the country.
Well, of course, the controversy has deepened. That is after the Public Service CS, that is Justin Muturi, recorded a statement with police claiming that NIS was behind his son's abduction. Let's take a look at that.
All right.
The recent surge in abductions over the months since June last year has elicited concerns from many over who is behind the abductions. And tonight, the National Intelligence Service has once again been thrown under the bus by yet another top government official. CS Public Service Justin Bedan Muturi, a man at the helm of a critical ministry, seemingly disturbed as a nerve could have been touched by the same government he works for. Muturi unleashing a damning bombshell in his statement to the police today that his son had been abducted by the National Intelligence Service and that his release happened after the president's intervention. In his statement to the DCI unit at the Kilimani police station, Muturi intimates that his search for his missing son at the time led him to a physical meeting with President William Ruto, and that a call by President William Ruto to NIS boss Nordin Haji confirmed that the NIS were holding his son. Muturi's son, Leslie Muturi, was allegedly abducted on the 22nd of June 2024 around the Kilimani area, allegedly by armed men. This would mark the beginning of an agonizing time for the CS, sharing on his statement his pleadings with government officials in his attempt to put an end to his troubles. According to Muturi, the president in his call to Nordin Haji ordered the immediate release of his son, to which the NIS chief said the release would happen within an hour. On Sunday, Muturi took the Kenya Kwanza government to task over the recent abductions in the country. His sentiments, however, have not augured well with a section of leaders who are now calling for his resignation.
I would just say bring it on, I mean, at my age, I'm not the kind of person to respond to some of it is really very perfunctory.
The revelations from CS Muturi come at a time when Inspector General of Police Douglas Kanja has constantly denied assertions that the National Police Service is involved in the increased kidnappings and abduction cases witnessed since June last year. Sheila Chelangat for TV 47.
Right, in the same line, two men who were abducted late last year, Gideon Kibet, alias Kibet Bull, and Billy Mwangi, were today escorted to the Directorate of Criminal Investigations headquarters by the Law Society of Kenya and human rights groups.
Well, they were there to record a statement or statements about their ordeal, as Samira Mohammed details.
Following a court order by the High Court Judge Bahati Mwamuye, the Law Society of Kenya and a section of rights groups on Tuesday morning presented Billy Mwangi and Gideon Kibet, alias Kibet Bull, at the DCI headquarters to file their statements in relation to the alleged abduction of 6 individuals, including Gideon Kibet, his brother Rooni Kipligat, Peter Muteti, Billy Mwangi, Bernard Kavuli, and Steve Kavingu, who are the recent known victims of enforced disappearance and illegal detention.
But this morning we have accompanied Billy Mwangi and we have accompanied Kibet, otherwise known as Kibet Bull, to give their statements to the Director of Criminal Investigations. We have done this in good faith. We are supporting the police to give us answers to who is accountable for the abductions or the enforced disappearances of these young men.
The rights groups have strongly condemned the rise of abduction and enforced disappearances in the country, further calling to an end of such, as well as the release of the already missing 25 persons.
60 days, 1 death, 1 disappearance is bad enough. 60 deaths, 85 disappearances are crimes against humanity. They should not be happening in this Kenya of today, and they must stop.
Pointing fingers at the National Police Service for the abductions witnessed in the country, the pressure groups have urged security agencies to put an end to the surge of human rights violation, further blaming the agencies for being part of the abductions.
You all remember the case of Macharia Gaido, the journalist. You all remember the circumstances in which he was abducted. He appeared in a police station. That evening, the DCI himself here said, "We apologize, we were looking for the wrong person," by the same name. And actually, days later, they abducted another Francis Gaido. Second example, the Turkish refugees. They disappeared one evening. Irongo and I and ICJ and other human rights organizations, we triggered our mechanisms. We followed the whole day. We didn't get the Turkish.
Samira Mohammed for TV47, Nairobi.
Well, from abductions and now to the vetting process that took center stage today, appearing before the National Assembly's committee that is on appointments, Agriculture CS nominee Muturi Kagwe promised to tackle misinformation about the government's nationwide livestock vaccination program.
Kagwe, who previously served as Health CS, emphasized the importance of clear communication to counter false narratives and shared his vision for maximizing social media to engage Kenyans effectively. Mike Agungo with that.
I, Muturi Kagwe,
Tuesday afternoon,
do swear that the evidence I shall give before this committee.
Former Mukoroine Member of Parliament in Nyeri County, Senator Muturi Kagwe walked in at Parliament buildings for the second time as a CS nominee, ready to face the National Assembly's Committee on Appointments for his vetting. The last time Kagwe appeared before the committee was in 2020 after he was nominated as Health Cabinet Secretary. With his experience at the Ministry of ICT and Information and that of Health, Kagwe stood firm with his decisions to move his ministry ahead despite criticisms from the opposition.
I have no intentions of wasting 2 years. That is a period that I have, and I will do my utmost not only to set the ministry on the right path.
As soon as the committee settled, the CS nominee was questioned on his suitability to head a ministry. The COVID millionaire's fraud that had shaken the health ministry in the wake of the pandemic, placing Kagwe at a difficult position.
It is believed that you failed to account on the procurement of 1.6 billion worth of vaccines, and it is still a subject of investigation by this House.
All the members of the National Emergency Response Committee, of which I chaired, that included members of the Defense Forces, members of all ministries that were involved, we took collective decisions. In the issue of vaccines, we took collective decisions for vaccines. And the whole issue of the expenditure on vaccines, Mr. Chairman, is actually exaggerated.
After learning that a total of 7.8 billion shillings deal for the purchase of personal protective equipment was given to wealthy and influential people, the Ethics and Anti-Corruption Commission EACC had accused the Kenya Medical Supplies Agency of improperly handling the situation. However, by switching KEMSA's personnel and asking law enforcement to look into the matter, Kagwe claimed to have engaged a bloody conflict with the cartels in the health ministry.
Mr. Chairman, that we carried out a complete re-engineering of KEMSA. Change of staff, restructuring the organization, at least in the time when I was there. So we did take action about it.
And with controversy surrounding the government's livestock vaccination project, the CS nominee promised to engage all stakeholders in the exercise, spearheaded by the Kenya Veterinary Vaccines Production Institute, if approved.
You turn up with your vaccine, the farmer says, I'm not interested, you leave the cow and go to the next. Now the cow you have left behind is bearing a disease that will infect the one that you have vaccinated next door.
That is not the way to approach the issue. The choice that I have created, Mr. Chairman, is a choice where you are saying, listen, there is no force of vaccinating your cow. However, if you don't want us to vaccinate it, we can leave it. However, these are the problems that you are going to incur.
The vaccine's efficacy has been questioned by a section of livestock farmers who have since voiced concerns about the program's potential to harm their herds. If approved, Kagwe stated, his ministry will use social media to its fullest potential in order to prevent the spread of false information among Kenyans. Mike Kagwango, TV47, Nairobi.
Thank you. Have a good day.
In the same breath, the Trade CS nominee, that is Lee Kinyanjui, has defended his track record while assuring the vetting committee that he will deal with the influx of counterfeit goods.
The former Nakuru governor, during his vetting, has further said that energy is key to driving industrialization.
This is George Maringa, details.
Soft-spoken 47-year-old graduate of literature Lee Kinyanjui was third to face the Moses Wetangula-led Committee on Appointments of the National Assembly.
To establish your suitability.
He too did not run away from ghosts of his past. The former Nakuru County governor was put to task over his performance as county chief, more so touching on street children.
I have faced worse situations, but I just wanted to say I have my conscience right. I can never do that.
Should he be approved, he'll take over the crucial trade docket, and MPs did not leave anything to chance, pressing him hard on why the manufacturing sector is stagnant and what measures he intends to put in place to improve the situation.
The contribution of industry to GDP has declined. But the truth also is that from independence to date, our economy has diversified. There are many things that were not there. For example, Kenya is among the top in geothermal in the world. Actually, in Africa, we are a case study. Sometimes when you're looking at industries, we don't see that as an industry. If you look at the flower export business, that's a whole industry unto itself. We are probably the fourth and the best in the whole of Africa. So sometimes when you're defining industry, we are defining it from the way we knew it then. But industry is very dynamic. Even the M-Pesa platform, it in itself is a whole industry, financial industry, that has completely reconfigured our economy. So I think as we move forward, and the banking industry, Kenya is not just an economy to itself. I mean, all these regional countries look up to Kenya. So I think sometimes when we say that our contribution has gone lower, it sometimes is taken to mean like we are stagnating. It is not entirely true. Actually, we are diversifying.
MPs also demanded to know how he'd deal with the influx of counterfeit goods. On the struggling industries, the CS nominee said energy is key to driving industrialization.
The growth of industry, I said, where we started in the year 1963 and the session of paper, and where we ought to be today, there is a clear challenge. The issue is how we can unlock that challenge. One of them, I said, was the cost of energy. The other issue is also getting into agreements that allow flooding of goods into the country, thereby disadvantaging our local people. The issue of taxation sometimes, without looking at the broader impact of that on the industry, becomes another bigger problem. I also wish to cite the issue of financing. If anybody wants to start an industry today and you go to a normal commercial bank, the period they give you is normally not more than 10 years. At an interest rate of 18%, you cannot survive. Again, we do not have banks that are aligned to industry.
The trade CS nominee was also asked about his plans towards harmonization of government policy and what happens in practice.
I think sometimes when some of this legislation comes, it would be wise to give the industry time. In which case you say, within the next 3 years, everybody should invest in clinker mining. So that if you're a local company and you know between now and then the duty will import duty will continuously go up by 5% or 10%, then it means you have to look for alternatives. And government can give them time. But some of these drastic decisions will send our local companies to the gallows. And if you look at the exports to our neighboring countries, without mentioning, cement is one of the big commodities that we are exporting, including steel. So when you come and also extinguish our companies here, we are also shooting ourselves within the regional export market.
MPs also sought to know his plans for special economic zones and whether they are working.
I invite the members as we try and reconfigure how we can move from here forward and encouraging local investors, those who are there to see how they can grow, and I think also more importantly, encouraging the younger ones. The majority leader also talked about the cottage industries. I think sometimes we overfocus on the big bulk industries. But the truth is If you go to every village, the potential to have small industries that can employ 10, 20 people, get the raw materials from the village becomes a big issue, partly because of employment in the rural areas. And you do not want a situation where everybody has to leave their rural areas to come to town to find labor. So we'll also try and look at how we can be able to encourage cottage industries all the way down into the rural spaces.
For a government that has not once emphasized its commitment to moving the country to a manufacturing state, the onus is on Lee Kinyanjui to lead the crucial docket, more so as a product of the broad-based government. George Maringa, TV47, Nairobi.
Now, Deputy President Kithure Kindiki has called on Kenyans to exercise patience as the government works to fulfill its promises.
Speaking in Njukini, Taita Taveta County, that is during the distribution of over 3,000 title deeds, Kindiki assured citizens that comprehensive strategies are in place to address their needs and enhance service delivery.
Ruga Ival tells us more.
In a departure from the recent more confrontational tone taken by senior government officials, Deputy President Kindiki has appealed for patience, reminding Kenyans that President William Ruto inherited an economy weighed down by both domestic and international challenges.
Tupelekane tu polepole, tusiwekeane pressure. Nchi yetu iko na matatizo mengi, wananchi wako na uhuru wa kuhimiza serikali wafanyie maendeleo. Ile tu tunaomba ni kwamba haisaidii kutumia matusi ndio kuletewa maendeleo. Uwezi tafuta maendeleo kwa kutusi watu wengine ama kwa kutusi viongozi.
Speaking during his first development tour of Taita Taveta, Kindiki expressed concern over the rising negativity surrounding President Ruto's administration. However, he reassured the public that positive change would soon take root, adding that it was only a matter of time.
Mambo ya siasa ikifika, kura inapigwa, mtu anapigia ule anapigia, story inaishia hapo, tunabaki tukiendelea tukiwa wa Kenya. Kweli si kweli? Kwani siasa ni vita? Mambo ya kura ni vita? Wale ambao wako na maoni tofauti, mko na uhuru wa kutoa maoni tofauti, lakini tufanye kwa njia ya ustaarabu na njia ya heshima.
His sentiments were echoed by Tigania East constituency MP Mpuru Aburi, who reaffirmed support for the administration from the Mount Kenya East region. Taita Taveta woman representative Lydia Haika also adding to the appeal.
Mheshimiwa Naibu wa Rais, ukirudi mweleze ya kwamba watu wa Taita wamekubali na sisi wa Meru tumekubali na tulikubali kitambo. Na sisi wa Meru tunasema kwamba mtu anasema kwamba Wadharaka ni wandogo. Wadharaka si wandoni karibu milioni moja kwa sababu Tharaka ni kama vile Wakikuyu.
Hatuwezi kuanza kumchokora rais saizi, kumkemea na kumtukana wakati bado miaka 5 ambazo tulimpatia hazijaisha.
The deputy president made these statements during a ceremony where title deeds were issued to hundreds of residents in the Njukini and Eldoro areas of Taita Taveta County.
Sasa najivunia kwamba kwanza mwanzo ni kuja kupata hiyo title ile sita nilikuwa na hisi ni wasiwasi, lakini saa hii sina wasiwasi.
Kindiki further emphasized that the head of state's commitment to ensuring that Kenyans can swiftly establish land ownership as part of the administration's broader plan to address citizens' needs. Ruga Ival, TV47.
Folks, 2 suspects linked to the murder of Kilifi County IEBC officer Amina Abubakar will remain in custody at the Bamburi police station for 21 more days as investigations continue.
Joseph Shikuku and Brian Templar appeared before Magistrate Alea Juma, that is today, where they alleged torture in custody and expressed fears for their well-being. The magistrate directed the police to ensure that the suspects' rights are upheld and ordered for medical examinations. That is for both.
The suspects to be detained at Bamburi police station for a period of 21 days from today to enable the investigating officer to finalize his investigations. Further, the suspects to be escorted to hospital for treatment or medical examination while they're in custody. The investigating officer, together with the OCS Bamburi Police Station, where the suspects will be detained, are directed to ensure that the suspects' human rights, as enshrined in the Constitution, are not violated at all.
Well, Victor, this next story will not make Kenyans happy, in that the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority, that is EPRA, has announced an increase in fuel prices effective at midnight.
That's right. A litre of super petrol will go up by 29 cents. Diesel will rise by 2 shillings and kerosene will increase by 3 shillings. As a result, a litre of petrol will cost 176 shillings and 58 cents in Nairobi, while diesel will retail at 167 shillings. And of course, kerosene will be priced at 151 shillings and 39 cents.
All right, and of course we go to the variations in average that landed cost of imported fuel in December 2024, where petrol saw a slight decrease of about 14%. That is 0.14%, dropping from the US dollar, that is 611.69. And we also have, that is per cubic meter, while diesel rose by 0.06% to about 644.10 US dollars. Kerosene saw a larger drop, falling by 1.62%, that is to about 649.64 US dollars. And the price changes reflect fluctuations in global crude oil prices and other costs associated with fuel importation.
Now, as we leave you to contemplate the slight changes in the cost of fuel, we want to take a short break, and when we come back, we will have more content for you, including that all-important interview, the conversation on the People's Court around SHA. Please keep it right here and send in your feedback.
Are you ready to elevate your business game?
As long as you're earning something, there's always that opportunity to save. And you start with where you are.
Kama wewe ni mfanyabiashara, huwezi kaa bure, unajipanga taratibu vile inavyofaa.
Join us each week as we dive into the stories of the world's most driven entrepreneurs.
When you pay attention to detail, you get luxury items.
The Grind, where business meets brilliance. Tune in every Monday at 7:30 p.m. because your business deserves the best.
Hey there friends, welcome to Kids on the Block, where fun and imagination come alive. We dive into magical world filled with exciting adventures and awesome friends.
What position were you in?
I was number 2.
What position were you?
Number 1.
He decided to cross the bridge by his house and look for food on the other side.
We're going to do half cup of chocolate chips, and the other one, we're going to do half cup of the blueberries.
So, grab your imagination hats and get ready to explore with us. Join us every Saturday at 9 a.m. for new friends, amazing stories, and tons of laughter.
Join us as we explore the journeys of those who defy the odds and break barriers. We dive deep into the stories of triumph.
Sometimes when parenting a child with a special need or whatever disability, family life becomes a bit complicated and you may end up raising the child on your own.
Here, we inspire.
I have a farm which one we showcase with other dyslexic youths and autism, how to farm.
Motivate.
It's never easy, but what we do, the best thing is to work with another parent who has an elder child than yours.
And break through the barriers one story at a time. Push your boundaries beyond the limit. Saturdays.
All right, welcome back. If you're joining us right now, this is the Daily Report, soon to be followed by the People's Court. And we begin with this part. President William Ruto's Cabinet Secretary nominees faced the National Assembly Committee on Appointments this day. Among the highlights was the astounding wealth declared by several nominees, revealing one of the wealthiest cabinets in Kenya's history.
ICT Cabinet Secretary nominee William Kafogo led the pack with a professed that is net worth of 3.01 billion, as Lennox Sengre details.
You can always text any of the members present.
Kenya Kwanza self-proclaimed hustler government continues to cement its image as that made up of individuals of no small means, now prominently showcasing a cadre of exceptionally wealthy individuals amongst its leadership.
Members of the public.
Tuesday's vetting process saw ICT Cabinet Secretary nominee William Kabogo make a thriller before the National Assembly's Committee on Appointments, revealing his staggering net worth of 3.1 billion.
An interest and shares in companies approximately 1.5 billion. So a total of about 3.01 billion, Mr. Speaker.
So owns a chopper, and I don't see it anywhere here. A chopper. Actually, it's a movable. No.
Mr. Speaker, it is true. I had one at some point when I was a young man.
What happened to it?
And I could fly it myself. I'm a pilot myself, Mr. Speaker. So when I couldn't fly as much, I decided to let it go.
Agriculture Cabinet Secretary nominee Muturi Kagwe also depicted a deep pocket with a net worth of 842 million.
Made of?
Made up of essentially my wealth is in assets, is in real estate, is in pieces of land here and there accumulated over many years.
Vetting continued with former Nakuru Governor Lee Kinyanjui, nominated for the trade docket, stepping into the spotlight. The question remains, where are the hustler ministers? Lennox Sengre, TV47, Nairobi.
Thank you, Lennox, for that. Now, a Nakuru man is seeking assistance, that is from well-wishers, after his wife, Susan Jepkemei, gave birth to quadruplets, that is 4 baby girls, at Nakuru Level 5 Hospital.
Now, this is the second highest multiple birth recorded in the hospital's history.
And the couple is appealing for financial and material support, that is to care for their newborns.
Chichi Josephine tells us more about this quadruple bundle of joy.
It was the second highest number of newborns delivered in a multiple birth ever in the history of Nakuru Level 5 Hospital, as Susan Jepkemei delivered quadruplets, all girls after being rushed to the theatre at the Nakuru Level 5 hospital. Speaking to TV47, Susan, a mother of 2 other girls who hails from Lare in Njoro, says it is a unique moment of jubilation for her in her motherhood and parenting journey, as she did not expect to have 4 babies at once.
Ya kwanza mimi nilifurahia juu naona ni uchungu ya once. Sikuwa na expect ati ni waine.
According to Susan, the initial scan report indicated that she was carrying triplets, only for her to give birth to 4 children later. A journey, she says, was not a walk in the park.
By the way, nilipewa bed rest nikiwa na miezi 3. Kutoka hapo siko najifanyia kazi. Nilikuwa na scanning ya ilikuwa inasema ni watoto 3. Challenge ni mingi juu unajua tumezoea kulea mmoja, tunamalizana saizi ni 4. Lazima kwa akili ujiprepare.
While noting that the mother and the children are in good condition, Nurse Manager Veronica Ongwae at the Margaret Kenyatta Mother Baby Wing disclosed that at birth, the babies weighed 2 kilograms, 1.8 kilograms, 1.6 kilograms and 1.5 kilograms and are currently at the newborn unit and will later be moved to the kangaroo mother care.
We took her in for cesarean section, and that is when the babies were extracted. The first one weighing 2 kilos, second 1.8 kilograms, the third 1.6, and then the last one was 1.5. So the babies were taken to the newborn unit because of prematurity and further management.
Jonathan Mwangi, the father of the children who works as a milk transporter in Njoro, explained that they were planning for their 3rd child. This, as he expressed his shock and excitement after being elevated to a father of 6 up from 2.
Tukua tunatarajia hata kwa familia hatujawahi kuwa hata na mapacha. Nilistuka na nikafurahia tena pia zaidi. Hata kama sikuwa nimejipanga hao, bado nilifurahia na nikasema ni asante kwa Mungu.
Dr. Naom Jepkongei, who works at the facility, explains the chances of the occurrence of multiple gestation.
Can occur when once an egg is fertilized by a sperm, the egg can divide into 2, or even at times it can divide 3 times, or you can have a mother producing more than 2 eggs at a go, at that point each egg might divide once. You can get now from the 2 eggs you can have 4 fetuses.
The family is now asking well-wishers for financial support to enable them continue providing for the 6 daughters, as they are not financially stable.
Kitu naomba ni kama kuna usaidizi wote tutapata, ndio hao watoto juu hatukuwa tumejipanga waendelee na wasikuwe na makwazo mahali.
Chichi, Josephine, TV47.
Now, away from bundles of joy and so on to something else totally different and somewhat sinister. The battle over resource control and political divisions is intensifying at the Nairobi County Assembly.
Kisisuru MCA Alvin Orlando claims that he was attacked by suspected goons, that is in the CBD, an incident he alleges was orchestrated by Governor Sakaja.
Meanwhile, Kileleshwa MCA Robert Alai has called for swift investigations to ensure those responsible are held accountable.
Nilikuwa niko hapa mjini na wakati nilikuwa natembea watu wakatoka nyuma goons wakaanza kunipiga wakiniita mwizi, na mtu mwenye alikuwa amepanga hii maneno si mwingine ila hali ni Governor Sakaja, kwa sababu ya msimamo wangu wa vitu. Wakati nilipigwa jana na wale goons, nilienda kwa Central Police Station. Niko na OB number hapa. OB number yangu niko nayo hapa. Nikatoka nikaenda Aga Khan Hospital wakanitibu.
Tunasema serikali yetu ifanye uchunguzi iwapo yule ambaye anadhania
kuwa akiulizwa maswali inakuwa ni kumshtumu, apelekwe kotini na ashtakiwe. Sisi kama ma MCA, member of the County Assembly of Nairobi, hatutaogopa kukashifu kiongozi yoyote ambaye atafanya utekaji nyara na upigaji wa viongozi.
MCA kazi yake ni uangalizi, oversight. Na wakati tunafanya uangalizi wetu, basi kama wewe hauko na akili timamu utadhani tunakuattack wewe wala tunakuchukia wewe. Lakini sisi tunachunguza tu mambo ambayo wewe unayafanya.
We would like to condemn whatever the governor is thinking that is going to scare anybody, and these boys will be arrested. If they cannot be arrested, the police should tell us. If they cannot arrest these boys, then we look for them ourselves. So we know that we are dealing with thuggery in this country. That the police is not above is not on top of things, and to ensure that everything which is happening in this Nairobi then is now as a result of the breakdown of the rule of law.
Folks, the Kakamega County government has closed the Lubao livestock market and banned the transportation of animals from Shinyalu and Malava sub-counties due to a foot and mouth disease outbreak.
Well, the county has also launched a vaccination drive targeting livestock, including cattle, goats, sheep and pigs, as part of the efforts to curb the spread of the disease.
Tulipata report kutoka Sukuse prison kwamba kuna ng'ombe ambao wameathirika na foot and mouth, na pia kuna wakulima kadha wa kadha kutoka sub-county ya Malava.
Tumefunga soko na kutembeza kwa mifugo eneo bunge la Shinyalu na eneo bunge la Malava, ambako tumedhibitisha visa kadha wa ugonjwa huo wa foot and mouth, na leo hii mnavyoona tunaanzisha chanjo na maafisa wetu ambao mifugo haitaletwa pamoja, watatembea boma baada ya lingine kuhakikisha kwamba wanatoa chanjo hiyo ambayo inazuia zile ugonjwa 4 ambazo zinahusika ziko katika hiyo foot and mouth, ili mifugo wetu wawe salama.
Now, the World Chamber Federation Africa Summit 2025 will be held at Kenyatta International Convention Center, KICC, in Nairobi County.
Of course, this summit serves as a forum for global innovators, policymakers and business leaders to discuss strategies for innovation, economic growth, and of course, business leaders to find ways to boost regional integration.
Well, according to the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce and Industry, President Eric Ruto, that is, the summit is a defining moment for Africa to assert its role as a global trade leader, further calling on the African leaders to support the upcoming Africa Summit that is in the country. Nevertheless, Eric highlighted they are expected to discuss about public-private partnerships, gender inclusivity, industrialization, technological advancements, as well as sustainable development.
We are indeed glad that we are seeing the first event of this nature that will be announced taking place on the African continent in this country, Kenya. And that, I think, shows a very strong commitment from the International Chamber of Commerce in terms of supporting Kenya and indeed the African continent to become a significant player in determining policy and also working within the network that the ICC makes forward.
So this is a very big endorsement for Kenya and for Kenya's private sector to host such a big event. This event is going to be the largest, actually globally, business forum that is going to be held here in Nairobi at Kenya International Conference Center, that is KICC. The theme for this event is Africa's global future.
The summit definitely is a milestone in redefining the role of chambers of commerce as drivers of economic transformation by enabling businesses to adapt to emerging global trends and connecting them with strategic opportunities. We are building the foundation for an Africa that is not just a participant, but a leader in the global economy.
Participation for this event is expected from over 70 countries. The premise of this event is looking at creating a future that addresses the ambition of Africa coming together as one market. Inter-Africa trade opportunities are immense.
So my role today is a call to action to the private sector in East Africa, the government sectors in East Africa, to support the event at the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce.
Sports news brought to you by Maybet. Join Maybet leo upate free bet papo hapo. Fanya hivi, chagua home team to win, yani number 1, au draw X, au away team 2 kwa game ya siku ya free bet. Weka namba yako ya simu, weka password ya account yako, chagua submit free bet. Utapata free bet kwa account yako ya Maybet. Usisahau kuverify account yako. Kama hutakuwa verified, utapoteza free bet yako after 2 days. Betting is strictly for 18 years and over. Play responsibly. Terms and conditions apply. BCLB number 000578.
Maybet na minia na najishindia. Pesa inavutia.
Right, time now for some sports news. And the Confederation of African Football has postponed the 2024 African Nations Championship, or CHAN, football tournament, of course, to August of this year.
This announcement made on Tuesday evening comes after the 3 co-hosting countries failed to meet infrastructure requirements ahead of the tournament.
CAF President Dr. Patrice Motsepe expressed optimism that the countries would complete renovation at key venues, including Nyayo National Stadium and Moi International Sports Center, in time for the rescheduled event.
And of course, the 19 qualified teams include defending champions Senegal, Morocco and Nigeria, among others.
At which we will be hosting CHAN is a little bit lower. Like, for instance, you realize that we have only done 25% of the roof for purposes of hosting CHAN. But immediately we finish with CHAN, we'll proceed to prepare the whole roofing facility for AFCON.
I want to assure you, through the support of the PS and the government of Kenya, we have done everything possible to organize this event. Please help us to promote this competition as East Africa, as Kenya, to promote this competition so that when we host AFCON 2027, this will be a benchmark for us to show the world that we are able to organize this competition.
However, we only would want to advise people that access to this place tomorrow will be strictly by invitation. And also, your vehicles must have the vehicle access pass. If you don't have the vehicle access pass, you are not allowed to come to KICC tomorrow. If you don't have invitations, you are not allowed to come to KICC tomorrow.
I thought we were ready.
I thought we were ready indeed.
Oh.
Clearly, we may not be ready. Hopefully we use this time.
Sports calendar in
absolutely,
a huge way.
absolutely.
To August, from February.
All the way to August, from February. It was actually supposed to start at the beginning of February.
Well, the other brothers, or the East African countries, the others, argued that they were ready and said, could it be us?
Well, folks, let's find that out, and we'll tell you exactly what countries are not ready for the CHAN event, which was supposed to kick off early February.
Well, away from that, the Magical Kenya Mountain and Trail Series 2025 officially kicked off today at Thompson Falls in Nyahururu, Laikipia County.
This event, which blends sports with tourism, will see participants traverse 5 counties over 5 days, showcasing Kenya's scenic beauty and iconic national parks.
And the event, flagged off by Tourism and Wildlife Cabinet Secretary, that is Rebecca Miano, and Kenya Tourism Board CEO June Chepkemei, will culminate in a cultural festival in Tinderet constituency, Nandi County.
Of course, the second round of the series is scheduled for Nyamira in May.
It's a fusion of tourism with sports, with adventure, with fitness, with wellness, and also the ability to see the beauty of Kenya.
At every stop, our travelers will be entertained by the cultural groups of that community that they have stopped at.
At the Tinderet Barangati Mountain Run, it is where we are going to choose the World Mountain participants for Kenya. Last year, our participants at Tinderet Barangatuny
won in Thailand, and they also won in Spain.
Of course, the Kenya women's senior kabaddi team is gearing up for the Women's Kabaddi World Cup, set to take place in India from March 7th to 12th.
And the 30-player squad is currently in training at Kasarani, with the final 15 players expected to be selected by February.
This team, led by John Karuga, received a boost today with the unveiling of their official national team jersey, sponsored by Maywood Trading Company.
And the sponsorship aims to support the team in their quest for continental glory.
We promise to give a good performance. Basically, the ladies have been giving their best. We have both young players and a mixture of experienced players. So for sure, hapo tunaamini ya kwamba tutakuja na results.
Supporting sport is supporting dreams, and we are in front line. And not only in front line, supporting and giving support where it is needed.
Sports news brought to you by Maybets. Join Maybets leo upate free bet papo hapo. Fanya hivi, chagua home team to win, yani number 1 au draw X au away team 2 kwa game ya siku ya free bet. Weka namba yako ya simu, weka password ya account yako, chagua submit free bet. Utapata free bet kwa account yako ya Maybets. Usisahau kuverify account yako. Kama hutakuwa verified, utapoteza free bet yako after 2 days. Betting is strictly for 18 years and over. Play responsibly. Terms and conditions apply. BCLB number 0000578.
Maybet naminia na najishindia. Pesa inavutia, pesa inavutia.
All right, we wish to take a short break, but we told you there's a big conversation we're having about your health and ours. And tonight, to help us understand this, we have a number of people in our studios tonight, people who have insight and direct connection to this thing we call SHA. And we ask you, as we ask them, what has been your experience thus far with SHA? And Linda, would you care to introduce the guests that we have?
I'll be happy to do that.
Absolutely.
I mean, Dr. Lishenga, mkono juu, watu wanakujua, this one is a household name. But then we also have James Mulamba, who's an entrepreneur. James, karibu sana. And of course, there is Dr. Brian Lishenga, asante sana, as well as Dr. George Manyali, who is equally here. And Catherine Jerry, who's a community health promoter, critical, frontline, at this level of the conversation. They say, ukishindwa sana, tafuta community health worker.
Right.
They walk you through, and they have done an incredible job so far, and therefore we appreciate. And Daniel Kahindi, employee, that is Royal Associates Insurance. It is important that we get to this conversation. And as Victor says, please tell us, have you had an experience with SHA? How was it? I think your voice in this very moment will be critical to us making a judgment, because what wameuziwa uoga hapa nje, is it kuuziwa uoga, or perhaps they have had terrible experiences? So we take a quick short break and then we come back on that very note.
All right.
Are you ready to elevate your business game?
As long as you're earning something, there's always that opportunity to save. And you start with where you are.
Kama wewe ni mfanyabiashara, huwezi kaa bure, unajipanga taratibu vile inavyofaa.
Join us each week as we dive into the stories of the world's most driven entrepreneurs.
When you pay attention to detail,
you get luxury items.
The Grind, where business meets brilliance. Tune in every Monday at 7:30 p.m. because your business deserves the best.
Hey there friends, welcome to Kids on the Block, where fun and imagination come alive. We dive into magical world filled with exciting adventures and awesome friends.
What position were you in? I was number 2. What position were you? Number 1.
He decided to cross the bridge by his house and look for food on the other side.
You're going to do half cup of chocolate chips, and the other one, we're going to do half cup of the blueberries.
So, grab your imagination hats and get ready to explore with us. Join us every Saturday at 9 a.m. for new friends, amazing stories, and tons of laughter.
Join us as we explore the journeys of those who defy the odds and break barriers. We dive deep into the stories of triumph.
Sometimes when parenting a child with a special need or whatever disability, family life becomes a bit complicated and you may end up raising the child on your own.
Here, we inspire.
I have a farm which one we showcase with other dyslexic youths and autism how to farm.
Motivate.
It's never easy, but what we do, the best thing is to work with another parent who has an elder child than yours.
And break through the barriers one story at a time.
667771 or 0733-599553. You can also visit our offices or website on www.eai.ac.ke or send an email to admissions@eai.ac.ke.
Allow me to take this opportunity to invite all potential candidates to start applying for the upcoming January-April 2025 intake. And we guarantee you the best services if you choose to join Equip Africa Institute.
Equip Africa Institute, promoting competence, innovation, and excellence.
Kwa majina naitwa Nancy, mimi nimetoka Meru, Kikumene. Nimefurahi siku ya leo watu andakamili kufika hapa Meru, na kwanza nimefurahi sana nikisikia mimi ndio wa kwanza na tunawakaribisha Meru. Nimeshinda 100,000 na sikuwa nimetarajia, lakini ninaambia Mungu asante sababu nitawekeza kwa kazi zangu. Mimi ni mwanabiashara na ile itabaki nitafanya nayo maneno ingine. Kwa hivyo ninashukuru sana. Ninaomba watu wajue hiyo mchezo ni ya ukweli na waendelee kucheza, na pia mimi nitaendelea kucheza.
Shinda kama bingwa, cheza daka mamili, pay bill 440440, account daka, amount shilingi 20 hadi shilingi 2,000, and win, and win, and win.
right, and Kamit Bial, Victor Moyakani, we begin this conversation by asking you a simple question. And here it goes. What is your experience with the Social Health Authority 3 months after it was rolled out? That is the question of the night.
Absolutely.
And we'll be getting into the details of that, but not before we get to hear this story that has been compiled by our very own, just painting a picture of the SHA shift situation in the country. So 3 months since the launch of the Social Health Authority, that is SHA, and the Kenya Kwanza government, well, the initiative has registered over 17 million Kenyans. However, the Taifa Care program is grappling with significant challenges, including portal inefficiencies and criticism that is from the practitioners and citizens.
Of course, our health reporter Elizabeth Atieno has more on this particular program, looking at the progress and setbacks that have affected this very ambitious health project. Let's take a look.
The Social Health Authority was launched on the 1st of October 2024, and during its first month, the new health scheme faced a myriad of challenges as thousands of patients seeking services were left in a state of despair. Although the government through the Ministry of Health has time and again reiterated that the transition from NHIF to the Social Health Authority is aimed at ensuring equality in health service delivery, sadly, many Kenyans have reported that they could not access services as they were forced to pay out of pocket following challenges in registration for the new health funds.
Top 10 services provided within SHA in the first month included mental wellness services, which was not previously under NHIF, amounting to 102.8 million. Outpatient services amounting to 273.8 million. Inpatient services, 774.9 million. And renal care services, 244.4 million.
Many health facilities have also faced challenges in registering via the SHA portal, hence delaying services to patients and also delaying the contracting process of the facilities by SHA. The SHA digital platform has been facing challenges despite the government investing a whopping 104.8 billion Kenya shillings for the implementation of an integrated healthcare information technology system. Another key challenge on the transition was the claims owed to health facilities by NHIF, and on the 29th of October 2024, the government released 9 billion Kenya shillings to the Social Health Authority to clear the outstanding bills owed to healthcare facilities by the defunct NHIF.
Many facilities are still having a bit of issues because of the historical debt accumulated under the NHIF. That historical debt the government is also trying to offset incrementally.
Claims will be processed within 90 days to maintain sustainability and responsiveness in healthcare service provision.
That has since been resolved, and as we speak, more than 8,400 facilities have since been contracted, and they are offering services to the public.
The funds also include 1 billion Kenya shillings for the Linda Mama program to ensure that newborn and child health services at level 2 to 6 health facilities will be covered at a cost of 11,200 Kenya shillings for normal delivery at a maximum of 48-hour stay at the hospital, and 32,600 Kenya shillings for cesarean section with a maximum of 72 hours stay. The government says it will need 12 billion Kenya shillings to cater for normal delivery and 4.3 billion Kenya shillings to cater for cesarean section under SHA.
A teenage mother going to a facility like Pumwani, for example, and he is assessed and found not to be in a position to pay the premium, will be paid for by the government.
Additionally, the package for oncology services under SHIF is 5,000 Kenya shillings for chemo admin, 53,500 Kenya shillings for PET scan, 9,600 Kenya shillings for CT scan, and 11,000 Kenya shillings for MRI. The 2.75% monthly deductions to the Social Health Authority has seen Kenyans complain over the shrinking payslips amidst the high cost of living. So far, over 17 million Kenyans have registered into the Social Health Authority. On the 14th of December 2024, the Rural and Urban Private Hospitals Association RUFA Secretariat rated SHA transition score at 46% and access issues witnessed in SHA rated at 29.3%. Also, there is a 44% training gap among healthcare workers and a 77% progress in e-contracting. The SHA portal functionality is only at 22%. Elizabeth Atieno, TV47, Nairobi.
All right. There's quite some interesting numbers there. Before we begin the conversation here in studio, we want to ask you the same question that we've been asking. What has been your experience with SHA? Have you used it? Have you registered? All in all, what has your experience been? The SMS line is on your screen. The WhatsApp number should be on your screen. I asked the producers to put it up. Please send in that feedback and we'll be able to sample it as we proceed. Linda.
All right.
Kick us off.
And of course, we begin this conversation from that very point. And I think the last person that we had here, we actually had two seated together, Dr. Lishenga as well as Catherine, and we're discussing, SHIF, SHARE, and perhaps the health situation in the country. Any changes, so far that is on ground in terms of, the progress and people just softening up to registering, Catherine?
No, there is no any progress. As per from now, wacha tu nitumia Kiswahili naipenda sana.
Ndio.
Cause taki tena ni slab code ni kitu iko na concern sana.
Right.
Cause we as CHP wenye tuko kwa ground tunapitia challenge sana. Cause as per government directives, CHP were supposed to register our households. But the gadgets zile simu tulipewa hizo neon zina hang. Hata iwezi ukiweka tu hiyo *147 ama pia uende hata kwa Google Play Store download that app ya afya. Kuna ile aisongi.
Yeah.
But tunarudi tunaona ya kwamba as per venye walipanga mambo na SHA, as per venye walisema it is not how it was implemented. Because unapata there are so many challenges kwa zile wale watu wako chini. Mimi nikiangalia na maoni yangu ya kijiji ni kwamba SHA ina benefit matajiri. Cause pia ukipata plus ile process ya mtu wako kwa kijiji ndiye atibiwe, kuna ile lazima aende level 1, na hiyo level 1 tunaambiwa tu refer wagonjwa, haina dawa, haina kitu, ati ndio apate tena akuwe refer to the second level. Sasa kwa mfano pia kuna wale community wako karibu na zile level 5 ama level 6. So unaona na hospitali iko kwa mlango yake, lakini hawezi enda hapo atafute ya dispensary apate referral ndio arudi wapi. Kwa for example kama sisi tuko Mama Rusi, mimi niko hapo just behind in Molem Embakasi West. But unasikia lazima nitafute hiyo level 1. Na hiyo level 1 for sure, wacha tuambiane tu kweli, haina madawa, hakuna kitu ina, is just like kiosk. Cause hata ukienda pale labda uandikiwe prescription lakini hakuna dawa, hakuna services, hakuna laboratory services. If they are serious per UHC, Universal Health Strategy as per our Millennium Goal 2030, utapata ya kwamba watu wananufaika ni matajiri. Cause ama tuseme mtu anaweza jiripia insurance cover.
Alright.
Sio hii plus hata hii kuna hii charge ya registration. Unapata kama sisi CHP tunaambiwa tu register na inakuwa ni kama a must uregister. Haya hauna data, hii kitu inatumia bado, unanielewa? Na the payment walitupewa na the appreciation that stipend of 3,500 from the county government na 2,000 from the national government. But hata ukiangalia ukiweka ile 100 kwa siku ndio uweze kufanya registration, of which walipopanga mipango wakielezea, unaona kulikuwa na maono, lakini implementation of that project it's poor.
Okay.
Cause utapata ya kwamba mimi maoni yetu tulikuwa tunaona kama SHA wangeianza chini, first thing sensitize the community as per ile sasa tuseme ile tunasema government na venye situation iko ya livelihood, venye watu maisha iko chini. Kwanza wangekuja pia kuna hii mambo ya registration. Even we tukaenda kuambia mtu tunafanya registration, unasikia kuna hii mambo na nini siri za watu zimetolewa, maybe mambo na M-Pesa transaction, banking, sijui some sort of things zenye government inaforo ndio kufanya nini. Kuna mwingine unapata akienda kuregister maybe ni contract, ni mtu tu ameshikilia watu wanafanya kazi kwa kijiji, ni fundi na akona watu wa mkono. Si unaona pesa inapitia kwa simu yake, lakini analipa watu wa mkono wako hapa chini. Okay. Unapata sasa ikienda espa hiyo kusoma statement za bank na nini, wajakuja ground wajue huyu mtu analipanga watu, unapata. Na it is so challenging. Walisema espa venye una register, kuna zile household hata kupata 300 ya kuregister hiyo SHA ni ngumu, hata hapati, hata chakula wapati.
Tuachie hapo Catherine kidogo and we'll come back to you. Valid concerns being raised from the grounds. Catherine, as I earlier mentioned, is a community health promoter. And now we go to Dr. Lishenga, National Chairperson, Rural Private Hospitals Association of Kenya. Dr. from the last time we had this conversation, I am checking at the Social Health Authority portal right now. And one of the questions raised, they have responded to. Why was the shift of universal health coverage necessary? The response is to ensure that all Kenyans, underline all Kenyans, have access to quality, affordable and comprehensive quality health services, from health promotion to prevention, curative rehabilitation and palliative care without suffering financial hardship. Is that what you hear from her, who is right at the ground?
No, that is not what we hear. There is two biggest problems with SHA, the transition. One, primary health care. And number two, this issue of proxy means testing, so as to include the informal sector.
Right.
We can say a lot of things about, benefits and it is, but constantly what keeps coming back from Mwananchi is primary health care, which is first person, first contact care at the nearest point where you can get it. So community. We are talking about care at level 2 hospitals, level 3 hospitals. Now we have a law that has defined where you can access primary care. Part of the transition before, with NHIF, you could access anywhere. That's where you could go to Kenyatta or Moi, whichever, and just access. But now we are legally bound to access primary care at level 2 and level 3. And what you constantly hear is that what she's saying, what Catherine is saying, no drugs, no doctors, no supplies. So is it possible to achieve UHC with no drugs at level 3, no nurses, no supplies, no diagnostics? It's impossible. Then the issue of proxy means testing, which is meant to include the informal sector. What we had, the promise was, if you are really unable and you are mtu wa chini kabisa, to use Kiswahili, that you would not pay more than 300 shillings. And in any case, even if you don't have that 300 shillings, the promise was the government will take up the bill and pay for you. Because there are people who can't afford 300 bob per month. But they said for those who are really poor, the indigents who can afford something, 300 bob maximum. But what we know is happening with proxy means testing in this country now is hardly anyone is getting to pay 300 bob. Most of them are getting premiums that are higher than 300 bob. 1,000 shillings, 1,500, 2,000 shillings, 700 shillings, 600 shillings. Now, the result of that is what I have seen so far is some people, and it's actually in the report by the ministry, in the first month when they collected in revenues in November, because the first one was collected on 9th of November, the amount of money was somewhere like 6.1 billion shillings collected. I don't know whether those, part of what we fight for as stakeholders is transparency, we don't know whether it's 6.1. We have to take the word. But let's say it is 6.1. But the next month, now that was what was collected in December, fell to 5.3 billion. Now, they say that we don't know why that is happening. But I have a very good theory why that is happening. It is happening because Kenyans cannot sustain the new premium. You can pay, so 1,200, somebody pays because they are in an emergency, they need care, and you know now to pay is what is you have to pay to get the care. But once that emergency is done, they are dropping off. They cannot sustain the hype. So the two biggest, I would say, national issues that concern everyone is the rate we are charging in formal sector through this proxy means testing. Is it something we can validate? The answer I can say is we said proxy means testing was the wrong approach to determine premiums, because unless you go to people's homes, as Catherine is saying, one by one, door by door, there is no way to determine my premium. What is happening is people are gathering in schools, in churches, and people just arrive. Somebody comes, checks, looks at you, you know, they ask for statement. They don't know your personal circumstances. So proxy means testing is going to be the one reason why the reform will be unpopular with common people. The second reason is primary health care. You see, I like it when, and I want to confess, PET scan for cancer today is paid by SHA. It was also paid by NHIF. You know, I argue this with my professional colleagues. Don't use PET scan, for example, to say things have improved, because PET scan was being paid by NHIF. So it's not an improvement, it's a continuation of what was there. But let's give them, PET scan is paid. Dialysis is paid, but we all know that dialysis is also being paid by NHIF. So that is not an improvement, that is continuation of status quo. We can't celebrate status quo. But let's put it this way. How many patients in Kenya require PET scan? In a year, less than 5,000. Very few patients, 0.0001% of Kenyans will need a PET scan. How many Kenyans need immunization? Babies, thousands of babies. How many women need ANC, antenatal care, because they are expectant? Millions of women. Where do they get it? Level 2, level 3. Are level 2 or level 3 functioning? The answer is no. So we cannot focus on big things, say PET scan, say cardiothoracic surgery, say whichever, and where 99% are going.
All right. On this particular point, perhaps we should sample the feedback from some of our people, our viewers, who are in the coastal region in Mombasa. Let's have a look at what they have to say about this.
All right.
Imenisaidia sana tena kwa sababu nilitopa kuna 6,600 lakini nimepata 280,000. Hiyo si shukrani.
The SHA helped me so much. All my bill was karibu 790,000. 790,000. SHA paid for me 537,600.
He was in hospital the other day.
All right, and as this happens, there's also some views from some of our viewers in West Pokot. Let's have a look.
Ukienda hospitali hapa Kabenguria, atipeleka mambo ya SHA, haifanyi kazi. So, watu yote wameumia. Na ukitaka msichu sasa hii watu walifanya research wapi? Hii watu ya serikali. Sijui president alifanya research wapi? Kwa sababu sisi tunajua ya kwamba SHA ukienda hospitali unatibiwa. Lakini saa hii hiyo SHA inakataa, unaambiwa lipa pesa. Ile mama anajifungua anaambiwa lipa 5,000. Badala ya SHA alipie haifanyi kazi.
Kwani SHA amekuwa mwaka jana mpaka saa hii bado hajafanya kazi. Alafu unatuambia turegister. Sasa turegister aje? Alafu na wengi wetu wa Kenya wengi wamekufa tangu SHA ingie. Watu wa Kenya wamekufa wengi. Sasa tufanyaje? So please serikali kama na ajali wa Kenya wewe toeni hiyo kitu.
All right. Now, we've had some of these views. Mulamba, talk to us. What are your personal views on this particular thing? I can see you deep in concentration.
I was just looking at the story of Mohamed Ali, the Nyali MP, if I'm not wrong, who had an accident and injured his knee and underwent a surgery, and he went to hospital. He did not pay using SHA. If I am wrong, anyone can post that information if he's clarified if he paid using SHA. If the MPs themselves, those that are supposed to show us a public confidence and trust in SHA, are not even using SHA, what business do we have using SHA? Informed by the current political situation in Kenya, as a Gen Z, I do not see anything positive in this government. I have no interest in subscribing to any program they are pushing to us, because we've already seen that they are not benevolent in any way. So we've dissected the entire SHA thing, and we do not see anything, say, that makes sense in it. It may make sense that the government is saying that it wants to deliver a system, it wants to deliver a program that will ensure that all Kenyans will get equitable, affordable and quality health care. And even though they were unable to pay for that, for the treatment, the government will pay for them. But then we've seen this government tell us lies one after the other. We've seen so many promises from this government that it has not delivered. The health CS at one point said that those patients who will be forced to pay out of pocket for the services at the time when SHA was being rolled out will be reimbursed by the government. The Ministry of Health has not reimbursed anyone. As it is, we are also grappling with the fact that the Ministry of Health needs a 104 billion shilling system. That has not made sense to us, because going by this country and how tight we are economically and how badly we are doing economically, we do not need to overspend on a system. In fact, we need to spend less instead of spending more. We would have wanted to see a situation where the government would have said, in line with our stringent spending measures, we are going to revamp the NHIF system, and it would cost us 10 billion shillings instead of going for a 104 billion shillings system that has links to Adani, who has been implicated in so many cases around the world, because Apiero Limited is owned by Jayesh Saini, who is
so clearly a lack of trust is a big deal for you.
We cannot trust this government.
So to make it clear, you are not registered on SHA?
I am not registered on SHA.
What are you doing for healthcare for yourself?
As it is, I have my God and my little insurance.
Okay, interesting. Right. But then again, let it be noted that the health practitioners themselves will tell you that health sector has been underfunded. They still are grappling with that, even with that transition. And therefore, would it be, wise to argue that perhaps reduce these amounts to a lower? I mean, Daktari will be telling us, but we have to hear from Dr.
Yes, just before that, let's hear from Kahindi.
All right,
Kahindi has a file.
No.
Kahindi has a file in his hands.
Sure.
Talk to us, just in brief, first of all, where do you stand on SHA before we come to the good doctor?
One of the main opposers, one of the few people who are ready to tell the national government the reality and the truth of anything that they are doing. Today, I'm here in 2 posts. I'm an insurance broker and a Royal Associates insurance broker. That means I understand insurance more than a few of us who are here. Because Chief is an insurance. Okay? Secondly, I'm a victim. I had registered with SHA, but it never happened to me. Never helped me anyhow. Let me start by this. Allow me just to stand up and try to prove how SHA is not, and also to confirm to my mother that it is not only bad, or it is very happening bad to everybody, both the rich and the poor. Not only bad to the poor. By saying so, I'll just try to be brief and tell Kenyans that according to how people are supposed to pay the SHA, it is people who are in a salary of 12,000 to 14,999, that we can call it 15,000. They're supposed to pay 330 to 419. The government said 330, but you see it is a limit. And
something we would have projected.
Yes, it is there.
We would have projected, or you're okay just doing it.
I just have a picture, but it is there.
Okay.
It is there.
All right.
And for people who are getting a salary of, who are earning monthly, 100,000 to 150,000, they are to pay 2,750 to 4,125. In addition, any kind of salary everybody is earning, that is what I'm carrying here, figures, you are supposed to pay, including you, 2.75% of your salary. Okay. The question is this to help or to intimidate some of us? You earn 100,000 because of your effort. And for those who earn more, they kind of get intimidated by such of money being cut from their salary because we have plenty of them. And by saying so, I have this document where it comes from the Ministry of Health, tariffs to the benefit package under the Social Health Insurance Act number 16 of 2023. If you look at this, the primary health care, I'm deriving directly from the chief.
The ministry.
So what I want to say is that health, education, wellness, all the normal thing, you're given a limit of 900. Let us be realistic. Where 900 shillings per annum for a household. You, your wife, and kids. You're supposed to use 900. For what service? Consultation, diagnosis and treatment, prescribed laboratory investigation, and many more. A simple question. Given 900, which laboratory in this nation can you go and use 900 only per annum? Is there? There is none. That means wherever you're being told, the government is just trying to take money from us and use it in a different manner. And just having a simple question to everybody and to Kenyans. The question is, if you see a snake in your house, are you to burn the whole house or to get a way to kill that snake and maintain your house? That is the big question. They said that there was a problem in NHIF, the house. Is it to burn the house and start a new house, or to remove the snake? That is what the government is saying. Not only that, let us go to maternity because of Linda here. You're supposed to go to level 2 or 3 in your locality, or probably your rural area. Do you have a level 2 or 3 hospital which can serve you maternally? And you're supposed to be given a normal delivery. Under normal delivery, you're given a limit of 11,200. Caesarean, it is 32,600. But normal delivery, you're supposed to use the maximum stay of 14 days. Sometimes you may get it in a normal delivery, and you tend to extend more days there.
14 days? 14 days,
48 hours. So, 48 hours, not 14 days.
Yes, it can be
48 hours. And for the caesarean, it is a maximum of 72 hours. Is this real? Not only that, let us go to something else. Optical health services. Eye health, education, and all those, you're supposed to go to level 2 or 3 in this nation. How many level 2 or 3 hospitals do we have
that can check,
that are able to facilitate for our optical services?
None.
And you're supposed to have case 935 for consultation and dispensing of eyeglasses. Consultation and dispensing of eyeglasses. You have your spectacles there.
So Kaindi, what is your main point here? You're saying the allocations in SHA are inadequate, if I'm hearing you correctly.
It is not only inadequate,
unrealistic,
but also unrealistic, as my friend is saying.
There is no hospital. There's no hospital that can provide that service.
You actually chair the Association for Private
Is it not a step towards the right direction? And perhaps let's just acknowledge that maybe we are headed there. And the government has largely talked about Afya Mashinani, and they say they are committed to that. So do you suppose that they began this process before having equipped that, and perhaps in the event that this is well equipped, or these levels of hospitals are well equipped, that then SHA is a good thing?
How do you equip a hospital? You equip a hospital by having money. If a hospital is compensated 75 shillings per month per patient, guaranteed that hospital will never equip.
Okay.
That is what he is saying. He is saying that you have numbers on the paper that even if you went to Pluto and came back, there will be no healthcare.
Before we take a break, Dr. Lishenga, let's allow Dr. to say something at least.
Actually, I want him to have enough time.
Yes.
Before so allow us to go for a short break, Dr.
Just give
we
me
have
a
like
minute,
3 minutes to break.
Plenty of time.
I just want to ask a single question.
We do need to take a break, though.
Okay.
So allow me to take the short break. When we come back, you will ask your questions as well as the other pages in your file. And then, but we will also make some proper time to hear you out, right?
Dr. we are coming to you shortly.
Folks, let's take a short break. But please remember the drill. Send in your feedback and your questions through the SMS line on your screen and the WhatsApp number on your screen, and we're happy to sample it live and direct. We'll be right back.
All right.
Chwani. Nilidaka na mamiri. Nina furaha manze mbaya sana. Na nimejua story ya daka through morio wangu ni dere wetu Keza Wanchwani. Manze nimepigiwa mana dakika chache tu hata ikuenda sana. Draw imetoka. Manze nimepata raki namba manze. Manze nina big plan, nina watu inafaa nilipie chuo, nina kandae nafaa niamshe, nipige tu biashara na lazima niendelee manze kuwekelea manze. Nasikia fiti manze. Nashukuru God sana na pia nashukuru Daka manze. Nilipigiwa simu nikadhani ni jokes. Sasa nimeamini manze. Nasikiaje fiti.
Hii mwaka lazima holidays inoge na Daka Mamili. Shopping, familia, sherehe na holiday getaways. Daka Holiday Bonanza ya 100,000 na 20 bob pekee. 3 millionaires win every hour. Na Daka, multiply your bet times 5,000 every 20 minutes. Pia unaweza ponyoka na jogoo wa Krisi ama belza unga every draw. Shinda kama bingwa. Cheza Daka Mamili. Pay bill 440. Account Daka. Amount shilingi 20 hadi shilingi 2,000. And win, and win, and win.
Discover. The world. How it was. How it is. How it will be. Around you. Discover the world around you with us.
We are the home of internationally recognized education.
We are Malawian students studying at Mount Kenya University.
We are students from Uganda.
I'm a student from Angola.
We believe in making university education affordable and accessible. We will enable you achieve your career goals. Join us today and let us turn your ambitions into reality. Mount Kenya University, unlocking infinite possibilities.
Good people, we are back with the all-important conversation on SHA. 3 months down the line, what has been your experience? Is it working? Is it not? We have a gentleman here who, in his own words, and I paraphrase, you say the gospel of SHA, right. Not the gospel of Jah, but the gospel of SHA must be preached on every platform across the country.
Right.
Why do you say that?
Wow. SHA is a monumental project
that Kenya has had since independence. We have never had a project in health sector of this magnitude. Looking at 5 important elements, starting from preventive, promotive, curative, rehabilitative, palliative, all in one package. For the first time in the country since independence, Kenya has got a population of approximately 55. Today's report is almost a third. That means 17 million, thereabout, have registered on SHA. Just in 3 months, already at a third of the population of Kenya. We have those working, both informal and formal sector, almost 20 million Kenyans. About 4 million informal sector, about then 16 million informal sector. Now, if you put together the numbers, you can see already my 2.7% I'm already contributing. SHA is not, and I want to make it very clear, a health system for the rich. It is meant to equalize, to bring the health services to all the people, irrespective of their rank in the society, irrespective of how much they earn.
All right, but how far, I mean, 3 months down the line.
We are 3 months.
What has it done in order to achieve that lofty goal?
Victor, we have hiccups in implementation. We just entered the labor room, and you know what that means. We are going to bear the terrible
So you're saying
pain,
still time?
The terrible pain in the labor room. You know what is coming out? That beautiful baby.
But that pain,
since independence.
That pain means some families are losing breadwinners. That
Now,
pain means people are dying.
Yeah. But
is that a pain
No.
that is acceptable to you?
Disinformation and misinformation has clouded our minds.
What do you mean by that?
In shaping an attitude that SHA is not working. And there's a saying that a bad attitude is like a flat tire. Until you change it, you cannot move.
Okay, let me reset a little bit. I want you to talk to us a little bit about your own personal experience with SHA. I know there's a number of people who want to respond to that, but what is your own personal experience with SHA and why are you so confident about it?
I am confident, one, because where I sit, I have given my contribution. J.F. Kennedy says, ask not what the government or the country has done to you, but what are you doing? I have given my 2.7%. But then, that 2.7%, I expect Mama Mboga to register for SHA so that can get a share of my 2.7%. They're not registering. And that's why I have moved out, gone out there and tell them, please register. I am giving my part. Please also come on board. We share this love of bread.
Okay.
This is a government that's giving us, asking George to buy a bread, and Catherine here join the table and share.
All right.
What else can you ask, honestly?
So Dr. Manyali, to be clear, you have not had an opportunity to use SHA.
I have had an opportunity to use SHA.
What was
personally,
your experience?
Very good one.
All right, hold on. Catherine, your point, please.
Venye anaongea vizuri. Cause ni kitu imefanywa na inaonekana ni kama kitu imechorwa. Lakini ningetamani venye anaongea akuje ground kwa community. Aone the challenges zenye the community wanapitia. Sio kuregister peke yake. You need to pay ndio upate service. Plus hiyo structure ya SHA iliwekwa, mi kitu hata ningeuliza, if kuna mtu anaweza robi, irudi kama venye NHIF ilikuwa. Unaweza tibiwa inpatient ama outpatient in the hospital of your choice. Wanasema they are trying to decongest the level 5 and level 6. But in our primary health care service, hizo level 1, level 2, they have not been equipped to offer those services. Ndio venye imetengenezwa na venye inaambiwa ni mzuri. Ni kama venye tunasema, unaona huyu msichana ni mrembo, unaenda naye kwa nyumba, lakini tabia inarudi na kufanya nini? Inakukanyangia juu.
All right.
Kwa yeye venye anaongea from her own perspectives. Okay. Lakini ningewauliza, unaona watu wa SHA, even the government itself, mi hata ningetamani sana Ministry of Health na hao wenye tuseme hao consultant, hao wenye wanawasaidia, wasirudi kupanga vitu za community from their tables, warudi ground, wakuje from the ground level, from the community level. Wakuje waambie, tunataka kuanza hivi, muanze hivi. Kuzi saa ile kitu iko, kwa mfano acha nikwambie saa hii, anasema it is for 3 months. Kuregister tumeregister, hata mimi most of my household almost nimeregister, but most of them have not been able to pay.
Sorry about that. I want to ask this question. Where do we draw the line between mambo ya ground na professionalism based on some feedback here? And they say the SHA program might not work in Kenya as per now. CHPs are not trained healthcare workers. They are doing too much that is unnecessary. For example, they are testing malaria, BP, glucose. These are the tests to be done by laboratory personnel. They go ahead to say, 2, level 2 are dispensary that are mostly manned by nurses only, yet services are to begin at level 2. In community health promoters should be medics who have done family medicine and not our types of CHPs. Sure. This might sound like it's targeting and harsh and everything, but then where do we draw the line? Where we say CHPs have valid points about the ground, but
good question. That's a good question. Mulamba, I see you itching to make a point.
Yeah, because the doctor here, the good doctor, is projecting a very good image of a very robust system and a very robust program that the government has in store for Kenyans. And by his own words, it appears that the government is thinking about securing a healthcare that works for all of us. He's very ambitious, and the entire SHA system is ambitious. But how do we believe this government? Let us start from there. When the CS for health...
This is the indoctrination he's talking about.
Yes, the current CS for health was asked about the capacity that we lack in our healthcare facilities, say level 1, level 2, and so on. She confirmed that the government has released money from Treasury, and they have funded SHIF, primary healthcare, and they have also funded the critical and chronic illnesses fund. And they had already funded that with around 12 billion shillings. And they have a deficit of around 119 billion shillings. But she was still able to convince Parliament when she was being grilled that they will use whatever money that has been released to ensure that SHA works in the meantime, to prove that we can, to increase the public confidence in SHA. But as it is, because she also claimed that they will be able to stock medicine in these level 1 and level 2 hospitals, and they are going to hire more staff to ensure that we do not have the current deficit.
These are promises.
Deficiency. The current deficiency we have. Because as it is, Kenya has a ratio of 1 doctor to 5,000 citizens. This is below the ratio recommended by WHO.
Right.
Of 1 doctor to 1,800 patients.
Okay.
As it is, these CLs promise that the government is going to release money so that they are going to stock the level 1 and level 2 hospitals. As it is today, I have read in the newspaper, in the Daily Nation, that this country has run out of ARVs. This country has also run out of critical vaccines like the BCG vaccine. This country has also run out of condoms. As damning this is, how do we continue trusting this government and its sentiments over and over and over again?
Okay.
After the government has claimed that it has funded level 1 and level 2 hospitals, and they are going to build capacity in these hospitals to ensure that SHA gets through the teething problems.
All right, those are interesting questions. Let's get the view from the inside of those hospitals. Dr. Lishenga, what do you make of all this that we've heard in the last few minutes?
Well, clearly, George has never heard of something called obstructed labor, you know, or big baby. You know, he's started by saying, oh, we are in labor, there's a baby coming. I've been in labor many times and the baby is not coming because it's obstructed labor and it's a big baby, you have to remove it. If you keep saying, oh, labor pains, good, 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 flat baby, dead baby, stillbirth, that's what we are dealing with.
Topic.
So, in reality, don't celebrate these labor pains. What we are saying is that this looks like a big baby. This looks like this baby needs intervention. When we palpate and we
the baby cannot come out on its own.
This baby is not going to come out this way.
The baby might die while in the womb.
And actually, if you are one of those doctors who thinks this is a good situation, a flat baby will come out. And the mother might end up with a fistula.
Or the mother.
That is the proper analogy. That is what we are dealing with. So, and anyone who tells me that I have had a good experience with SHA, I have a very simple answer for you. You have had a good experience with SHA because of the good courtesy of those hospitals. Those hospitals are willing to continue offering services even in very difficult circumstances.
Just how bad is it for hospitals, Dr.
The situation is terrible. We had a survey, payment survey that came out the first week of January, barely a week ago.
Yeah, about a few days ago.
And we were tracking payments. 58% of providers told us that they have not received any payment from SHA. 58%.
That's more than half.
Yes. Among the 42% who told us, yes, we have gotten some money, 58% of them said it was only once.
Oh.
It is only 6% who said that we got money every single month. These are the providers who, my brother George is saying, are giving him a good experience. They are giving him a good experience without resources. They are giving him a good experience when the nurses are asking the owners of the hospital, convert one of the wards, my landlord has closed my house, I want to stay there. So the reality of the matter, when we talk about, what are they called, NHIF arrears. NHIF arrears, I have a hospital that told me the other day, I used to do 80 surgeries per month. I am down to 15 surgeries per month. I asked this old doctor, why are you down to 15 surgeries per month? He said, I owe doctors for the last 6 months so much money, they no longer operate in my hospital. They tell me, for us to come there and conduct surgery, pay us cash in advance. So this gentleman, his claims used to be 15 million shillings per month. Right now he does 3.5 million shillings per month. So SHA, is SHA paying him or not? I asked him, has SHA paid you? He said, yes, SHA has paid me 70% of the money. My claims between October and December were 10 million. They have paid me 7 million.
What are we saying, Dr. I am curious.
What I am saying is that a hospital that would have turned over 45 million shillings under NHIF between October and December can only turn over 10 million, received 7 million only. It cannot pay its liabilities and therefore it cannot be serving Kenyans. When Kenyans go to that hospital, service is not available.
Dr. Are we saying...
Just one more question,
right,
please. With this current situation, you're saying about 62%, you say?
About the percentage, 42% have been paid.
42% have been paid,
Yes.
62% have not.
58% not.
58, I say, okay, 58%, sorry.
Yeah.
So if this situation stays as it is, what can you paint for us a picture in brief of what's likely to happen, say, in the next 6 months?
Okay,
Before Dr. you paint that picture, I think this is critical because then we need to understand, is it that Kenyans are not remitting because this arrangement is unpopular, or is it that the money is there but the government does not want to release the money to the doctors? Is it an act of corruption? What exactly? Because evidently, if this situation continues that way, the situation is going to be bad.
So, first schedule of the SHA Act says that SHA inherits all the assets and liabilities of NHIF.
Okay.
That is plain and simple English. I don't know, I don't even know how you can interpret that. Madeni ya NHIF ni madeni ya SHA. Now, in practice, SHA has taken a posture that it cannot use any of the money that we are collecting now to pay anything NHIF.
Okay.
So, I think Kenyans are not understanding. If I am paying 2.75% of my gross income, why is it, so ideally we should have more money in SHA.
Yeah.
So why is it that SHA can't just take this money and pay hospitals?
Yes.
It is because they have taken a strategic position that none of this money collected will be used to pay NHIF arrears. So as I am sitting here, it is possible that the SHA accounts are rich with billions of shillings, but those billions of shillings will not arrive inside hospitals to pay NHIF arrears. And if you ask them, they will tell you, no. The law was very clear that SHIF will only pay SHIF. SHIF and NHIF are not the same thing. What we are saying is that if this, to answer your question, if this situation continues, as I asked my colleague who has a hospital near Muranga, I asked him, if this situation continues, what are you looking at? He told me, find me a buyer, daktari, I want out of this industry. I cannot continue, let me close. Because every day I cannot wake up, stress, auctioneers.
How many are like that across the country?
So many. We asked the question in our survey, how many, simple question, are you in financial distress? It was yes and no. 98% of facilities told us, yes, we are in financial distress. And in fact, we even asked faith-based hospitals, a few government hospitals, and private. It was like this, 83% of government hospitals are in financial distress, despite the fact that salaries and rents are paid by government, they are still in distress.
All right.
90% of faith-based hospitals, distress. 98% of private hospitals, distress. But this is not the problem. When you have our government officials going to a county referral hospital or a national referral hospital and interviewing patients and getting good answers, it is a rigged exercise because a county referral hospital, everyone's salaries has been paid from exchequer. The supplies have been supplied from the county budget.
Okay.
But you go to Catherine's level 2, level 3, rubber meets the road because there is nothing.
Ground.
Ground.
Hold on. Dr. Manyali, in the face of these testimonials, do you still hold the belief that SHA is working?
42%. Good sign. The government is committed to run this ambitious project to the maximum efficiency. Already, I was waiting to hear Dr. say they have not paid anything. But already there's that commitment of 42. That is the cloud that are gathering, showing that there's good things coming.
Kahindi.
This is the labor.
Hold on.
The labor room I'm talking about.
This is the labor you're talking about?
Yes.
Kahindi, these numbers that are being said here, are they enough? You know, you understand the mathematics of costing of health and so on. Are these numbers enough? And is the situation that Dr. Lishenga is talking about of an almost total collapse of the healthcare system, is it realistic? Is it scaremongering, or is it a real scenario that's likely to happen?
It is obvious, scaremongering. But I just have this question to people like Dr. here and to the national government. You know, if you listen to everybody from the national government or whoever is supporting it, they tend to give us history. And we no longer need that history. We need to know what is happening now, what is happening today, here. That is why people and the government go and do benchmarking. I just have a simple question, even to Dr. and to the national government, to everybody. We have our Maywood County here, Muranga County. We have the Kangata Care. Is it working? Why is the Kangata Care working from a gubernatorial position and the one that is from the national position, which is supposed to be higher than it is not working? You get me?
Health is a devolved function. Why would Kangata focus so much on the Kangata Care and perhaps...
No, that is what I want. The national government and the Ministry of Health to go to Muranga County and learn what Kangata is doing extra or better in comparison to them. Let me tell you this.
Health is a devolved function.
No problem.
So why, I mean, basically like we used to...
Now let us talk of SHIF and SHA.
All right.
Why did we had to move from NHIF to SHIF? Let me tell you this. As Daktari has confirmed here, there are so many arrears from NHIF, and the government, whatever is doing the wrong thing, doing insurance business by themselves, and they're not there to do business. They are there to help Kenyans. Instead, they're supposed to get, at least, if I can be asked to advise the government, just get a private entity, probably like Royal Associates Insurance Brokers, example. Our company, our great company, and they try to merge, and you'll see an improvement. The reason as to why I'm saying so, the debts that NHIF owed the hospitals, there is a high probability that they will never be cleared because this is no longer NHIF, it is SHA.
Hold it, Ray. Hold it there.
You get me?
Hold it there. We'll be coming to you. I know, James, you want to say something, but allow us to as well read what the viewers are saying back at home. Someone is saying, hello, it's unfortunate that SHA has become more burdensome to poor Kenyans. I'm yet to come across a Kenyan who's paying below the previous minimum premium of 500, that is under NHIF. I'm now paying at 1,030, that is for my mom, from 500 under NHIF. Mohammed Ahmed from Kibra. And then there's a person who says it's very irritating to tell me, one with diabetes and BP for years, to go to non-existent dispensary or pay cash in level 4 after having been going to level 4 during NHIF. Yeah. In short, it's killing us. Mama on pesa kwa wazee to pay 1,300 per month as per subscription. Wanasema it can't be rectified. I mean, there's immense feedback. There is my personal experience with SHA. Last week, my brother went from hernia operation in a Meru hospital. He was supposed to pay 59,000. SHA paid 56,000. Yes, I mean 56,000 out of 59,000. Out of pocket, we as family paid only 3,000 bob. Now, are you reporting objectively or just confusing Kenyans? Or is it just politics? Jim, say something.
Well, those Kenyans should give us feedback. I mean, in the feedback should give us receipts. This is what we as Gen Zs want. We want receipts from Mohammed Ali if he used SHA. How much did SHA pay? How much did he pay from his pocket? Because we know Kenyans are paying more from their pocket and SHA is paying almost nothing. Coming to what Daktari was saying here, I don't know, I'm quite alarmed with how Daktari is overconfident about SHA. And we all know that it is not working. And we all know it has failed in so many fronts. Firstly, let's talk about the payment of NHIF claims. SHA has not paid the NHIF claims. I am even surprised Dr. Lishenga is saying that it has already paid 42%. I mean, the figure should be...
Of SHA claims, not of NHIF claims.
Of SHA claims.
Yes, it's a difference.
See, the CS for Health said that they had released 5 billion shillings to settle all NHIF claims. I mean, to settle half of the NHIF claims because they amounted to 10 billion shillings. We should be getting a report of how much of that 5 billion shillings has been spent so far and how many hospitals have been paid from the 5 billion shillings. Because as it is just pure talk and big talk if the CS appears on camera with the principal secretaries to give us information that we cannot fast track and to give us figures just to placate our minds, because that is what has been happening with this government. The president of this country has been managing all of us. They manage us emotionally, psychologically. That is exactly the same thing with his cabinet. The LCS has been managing us. She's been projecting figures over and over that we cannot confirm. She said that SHA increased the dialysis sessions. We have not seen that happen. She said that SHA is going to focus on transplants and it is going to fund them. We've not seen that happen. And now they are saying SHA is going to cover every Kenyan, even those that are unable to pay the minimum payment of, say, 500 or 300 shillings. We've not seen that happen. So unless we see this happen, this is just pure big talk from the president and his cabinet.
And Jonathan says they have come for you, doctor, and they have come for you, a heavy one. Jonathan says, I would suggest that doctor gives us facts on why he argues that SHA is good as opposed to focus much on PR. He says, yesterday I happened to visit a hospital. To my shock, I was told to pay for lab and SHA will only cover part of the medicines, which is capped at 300 Kenya shillings. Yet, I am contributing over 2,000 shillings. Is that what we should be praising, really? Let us stop lying to Kenyans and tell them the truth. Maybe the intentions of SHA might be good, but its enrollment is misplaced or very wrongly done. And he continues to write a couple of messages, and we have immense feedback from the people down on ground, but you know, time is not on our side. We must come to a close. Daktari, I hope you have facts for your 1 minute of convincing Kenyans why we should actually take this gospel even to churches. So 1 minute, I mean, probably less than a minute as we come to a close. You want to say something?
Yeah, I want to just...
This is your parting shot as well.
Sure, sure. What I want to say is that, as James was saying here, the national government have this problem. They're just saying things verbally and in a written manner, but practically it is not happening.
Yeah.
I myself have an experience. Let me ask you this question. They shifted from NHIF to SHA. Imagine the kind of funds they used to move. And that money, from where I come from, my region, South Kinangop, the whole constituency, we don't have either for level 4 or level 5 hospital. Here in this SHA, they are saying that they are emergency units. And the question is, if you are from where I am, Magumu, and you get an emergency, the only hospital you tend to go is either in Naivasha or Kijabe, which is, Naivasha is, I think, 28 kilometers, Kijabe is 32 kilometers from there. The emergency unit, it is catering, let me confirm, but it is catering within 24 kilometers, okay? Let me show you. 25 kilometers,
Right.
In addition, if you go to a mortuary, they're giving you a limit of 500 per day. Which morgue is that? That will charge you 500 per day for preservation. And it is up to 5 days. My friend, let us be realistic. And I want to tell Daktari here, let him not only just talking, but I'm very sorry to say this, but Daktari, be realistic and tell the nation the real thing, what is happening in the ground. From your area, within which hospital can you be able to attend a level 3 or level 4 for an emergency?
All right.
Within
Daktari, in
a
1
radius
minute.
of 24 kilometers. Is
All
there?
right.
In less than a minute, Daktari.
All right.
Thank you. Kenyans, we have an ambitious project, SHA, that is going to provide accessible, or it's providing actually accessible, affordable.
No.
Affordable medical or health services, regardless of your cadre in the society. What you are seeing that probably has not gone the way you wanted, those are teething problems that we'll definitely overcome. We are only 3 months into this project. And the fact that some of the stakeholders, Dr. Shange here, confirms that there's 42% of payment. Forget about the assets and the liabilities that were inherited from the defunct NHIF. But there is good commitment. I mean, there's commitment from the government that payments to the stakeholders is being done. That alone should give you confidence that this is going to work. And I can tell you, we are soon getting out of this labor room with a baby bouncing. Thank you.
All right, Daktari. Catherine, as we close.
Mi kitu naweza ambia daktari, mi unaongea vizuri sana, but the better part of it, mi ningekuomba with your team, mukuje ground. Unaona, the government structure, kama mi niko under community health strategy, and my senior kama Mr. Nyakaba, Madam Judy, they are good people as per structure. Unanielewa? Haya, mi kama CHP, just to identify and to refer. As per the structure ya SHA, nastahili kutuma level 1, level 2, level 3. In those level 2 and level 3, hakuna hata lab ati utahudumiwa pale, hakuna drugs, and you expect, na ndio nilimwambia, unaona wale wako pale chini, wanahitaji zile services pale kwa ile level 2 ndio, akuwe referred ndiende level 4, 5 ama 6. Lakini unapata, hakuna service na hakuna equipment, hakuna, yani tuseme tu ni kiosk Let me call it a kiosk.
So ujumbe wako haswa ni nini?
Ujumbe wangu kwa serikali, na Ruto akipata mtu amwambie vitu anaambiwa hakuna ground. Atafuta huyo kama niyo CS wa health. Hiyo ni story ya jamba, aambiwe hivyo. Okay. Mwenye atapata Ruto amwambie. Kitu inastahili fanya, unaona huyo wa health, kozi hata wanafanyisha wakubwa wetu hawa community strategy kazi ngumu. Kozi inabidi saa ingine nipigie maicha community health assistant. Niko na mgonjwa ile level 2 naambia nimpeleke, haina hata lab technician, haina daktari, haina hata dawa, maybe painkiller ile ungenunu. Unapata hata watu, most of the people there they are doing over the counter drugs, over the counter.
So ujumbe wako ni kwamba serikali ikuje kwa ground.
Ujumbe wangu ni kwamba serikali si wanataka SHA ianze ground, watoke huko chini warudi ground. Hizo hospitali sisi hatutakata, this is where we supposed to refer. Zikuwe equipped, kukuwe na manpower, tukuwe na madaktari na kukuwe na madawa. Na pia hata kama ni hizo labs zikuwe in those level 2 and level 3 hospitals.
All right, Daktari.
Dr. Lishenga.
And Daktari, even as you respond to this, just know si nyinyi peke yake mdai, hata wa Kenya. Mwingine anauliza hapo, NHIF nililipa 6,000 na wakasema tuhame kwa SHA. Nitapata aje hizo pesa?
The things that Catherine is talking about, zile kwa ground, those are the things that Irungu Kang'ata is getting right. And you said healthcare is devolved. We need to have more governors doing the basic things. Level 2 and level 3 hospitals have internet, they have nurses, and they have drugs. She's saying that how do you access SHA portal in a level 2 hospital that has no internet and the SHA portal is online? This is the problem. 3 things that will make SHA collapse, and I want them
not
to
work.
Collapse.
Okay.
Because the reason why I'm saying this is because, with all due respect, everything that is working in SHA today was working in NHIF. Everything. And this is why when I hear the lady from Meru who said her neurography was paid for 59,000, SHA is working, I will tell her exactly that used to happen under NHIF.
Okay. So 3 things.
3 things. 1, they must pay NHIF arrears to hospitals.
Okay.
2, if they don't, SHA will collapse. 2, they must sort out proxy means testing. Hii kitu ya kupima watu na kuambia you look like 2,000, you look like 1,000, and you have never visited the person's home to see how they live like. This is the reason why Kenyans will revolt against that. 3, primary health care. Level 2, level 3 care. You cannot reimburse hospitals at the rate of 75 shillings per person per month and expect that they will provide care. 3 things: NHIF arrears, proxy means testing, and primary health care.
All right.
If those ones can be fixed, you will have your baby. If they don't fix that, still bad.
Okay, James.
Yeah.
Give us a final say in a minute.
I would want to be profound because there are a lot of things we might have not have captured, but I would like to capture them. 1, we do not need a 104 billion shilling system for a country that is struggling economically. Secondly, this SHA will not succeed in this country if we will not fix corruption, because we have an economic problem in this country that stems from our expenditure and corruption. SHA needs money to operate. As it is, SHA has received around 12 billion shillings. They are in 119 billion shillings deficit. And that will not be achieved if we will not meet our revenue targets, if we will not fix expenditure, and if we will not fix corruption.
All right.
Thirdly, this government is defending SHA with vehemence as it defended the Adani deals. This is the exact same situation we found ourselves in June when the government was defending the finance bill, which we, the Gen Zs, abnegated. The government was so confident. In fact, after not doing its homework, it was confident it was going to pass an examination. And we proved to them that this exam is a fail.
All right.
And we will prove to them that SHA is a fail if they will not listen to us.
All right.
Fourthly,
okay,
if SHA needs to work, they should pilot SHA in at least 5 counties. Try out SHA in Nairobi, Kiambu, Murang'a, and the counties that are cosmopolitan. Let's see if that works, because if that is not done, this system is not going to work. I'm not done. The SHA system, the referral system, is inefficient and non-existent because we have analog patient records in this country as it is. You cannot access your records online as a patient in this country. And if that is not going to be fixed, how then are you going to refer a patient from a level 1 hospital, a level 2 hospital, to a level 6 hospital?
All right, all right. Now, thank you for that. Can I just say thank you to all of you for coming? Clearly, as you can tell, we have had quite a chunk of time, prime time, to talk about this, but we have not exhausted all the points. It's a big topic, perhaps bigger than our time, as we say. But I am glad that we were able to have all of you here. I know, Dr. you've been here before. It means we can get you back here to talk about now the other aspects as we keep evaluating this program. Now, 3 months down the line, let's see what the next month is going to be, and then we keep evaluating. Thank you so much for all of you. I know some of you have come from far and wide. Thank you so much for your insights. Asanteni wa Kenya for listening and sending in your feedback.
Immense feedback.
Yes, immense feedback.
Lots of it.
We have a gentleman here who's given us the final word. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. Thank you for coming. And thank you for coming with your file. Next time, come with a bigger file. We'll give you time, project everything on the wall so everyone can see, all right? We want to appreciate you. Asante sana. Thank you. My name is Victor Muyakane, and on sign language across in the other studio, we have none other than Rhoda Nyamai, and of course, the team behind the scenes that made this a reality, from the reporters to the producers to the directors to the sound technicians and everyone. Say thank you so much. Linda.
Asante sana, James Mulamba, entrepreneur. Thank you so much, as well as Dr. Brian Lishenga, National Chairperson, Rural Private Hospitals Association of Kenya, and not forgetting Catherine Jerry, Community Health Promoter, Dr. George Manyali, Senior Lecturer, Kaimosi Friends University. Last but not least, that is Employee Royal Associates Insurance, Daniel Kahindi. And you back at home, oh my goodness, we could not read all these messages, but we appreciate that we are alert and woke to what is happening in the country, and especially health-wise. And we look forward to have more and more of these conversations. My name is Linda Alela. Have a blessed night. Bye.
Good night. Good night.
Hapana Daka Mamili. Daka laki yako na 20 bob pekee. Changamka. Win cash every 20 minutes. Multiply pesa yako times 5,000. Kila draw. Shinda bonus prize chungu nzima ndani ya Daka. It's easy. Cheza Daka Mamili na 20 bob to 2,000. Pay bill 440440. Account Daka. Win cash direct to your phone every 20 minutes. Cheza Daka.
Enjoy uninterrupted live streaming of your favorite programs on TV 47 and Radio 47 on the go with our new mobile-friendly website. Experience the future of broadcasting. Visit www.tv47.digital or scan this QR code and stream your way to endless news and entertainment. Welcome to the home of untold stories.
Chance yako ya ku-earn 2 million kila mwezi imemwok. Introducing Maybet's referral program. Tools ni mbili, simu yako na app ya Maybet. Fungua account yako ya Maybet, under my account utapata a unique referral link ambayo utashare na mabeshte na followers wako kwa mtandao. Alafu form ijipe. Si unangam, unangoja nini? Start journey yako ya ku-earn 2 million every month. Not for persons under the age of 18. Authorized and regulated by BCLB number 680.
Pesa inavutia, pesa inanukia.
following program is rated PG. Parental guidance is advised.
Hasn't everyone dreamed at some time or other of digging a hole in the ground and coming out on the other side of the world? It's a fantasy that has been explored all over the world.